In the beginning, before words were spoken, before the first dawn broke across the waters of time, the heavens were silent. The universe itself was a canvas waiting for the breath of God. And then, light. Not just light as we know it, but divine code, the voice of eternity echoing through the void. "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens," God said, "to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons." Genesis 1:14. Every star that flared into existence was not random. Each one burned with purpose. Each constellation whispered a chapter of the story that would unfold through the ages. The heavens were not decoration, they were revelation. Psalm 19 says, "The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands." Every orbit, every pulse of light, every eclipse and alignment was set to the rhythm of a divine calendar. The stars became the first prophets, silent, ancient witnesses that have never ceased to speak. And yet most of the world forgot how to listen. Civilizations rose and fell beneath the same canopy of stars, but what they once read as messages of hope became for them mere ornaments of night. Long before telescopes or satellites, the ancients looked upward and saw a story stretching from horizon to horizon. They called the constellations by names that still whisper through our languages today: Orion the hunter, Leo the lion, Virgo the virgin. But these were not pagan fables. They were fragments of an older truth, traces of the knowledge Adam carried from Eden, a record of redemption written not on stone tablets, but on the scroll of the sky. In the age before Scripture was written, the heavens were the first Bible. Every sunrise was a verse, every full moon a punctuation mark in God's unfolding plan. The stars became the clock of creation, measuring time not by human calendars, but by divine order. Job heard the question that silences pride. Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades or loose the cords of Orion? Job 38:31. The Almighty was reminding man that the universe itself is bound by covenant, that even the stars obey his appointed times. Those appointed times, the Moedim in Hebrew, were not random festivals invented by men. They were rehearsals, divine appointments on God's eternal schedule. Passover, Pentecost, trumpets, atonement, tabernacles, each one a reflection of something greater that would one day happen both on earth and in heaven. The same Creator who placed the stars also synchronized his prophetic clock with them. When Israel celebrated Passover, the moon hung full and bright, a reminder that redemption always rises in darkness. When the Feast of Trumpets arrived, the thin sliver of the new moon appeared, announcing both the beginning of a new year and a mystery that Paul would later reveal. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye at the last trumpet, we shall be changed. 1 Corinthians 15:52. It was all connected. The heavens above and the feasts below, the calendar of Israel and the movement of the stars. God was speaking the same language through both realms, and when the fullness of time came, the heavens once again gave a sign. A star rose over the east, not just any star, but one foretold since the days of Balaam. A star shall come out of Jacob, a scepter shall rise out of Israel. Numbers 24:17. The Magi, astronomers of the ancient world, followed that light across deserts and kingdoms because they knew that the heavens were proclaiming the birth of the king. They were not reading astrology, they were reading prophecy. The Bethlehem star was the divine announcement that the author had entered his own story. But the heavens did not stop declaring. They have continued to tell the same story. Of birth, of death, of resurrection, of return. Every eclipse, every conjunction, every alignment is a whisper. The timeline is unfolding exactly as written. Look closer. Even now, the constellations trace the pattern of redemption. Virgo, the Virgin, bears the sign of promise. Leo, the lion, waits at the end of the procession, the king returning in triumph. Between them stretch the chapters of human history, written in fire and orbit. And then comes the sign that shook the heavens in our own generation, the vision recorded in Revelation 12:1. A woman clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. On September 23, 2017, the alignment of the sun, moon, and stars matched that description for the first time in living memory. Virgo stood clothed with the sun. The moon rested beneath her feet, and above her head, the 9 stars of Leo were joined by 3 wandering planets, Mercury, Mars, and Venus, completing the crown of 12. Coincidence? No. It was a rehearsal of the revelation itself, a reminder that the same clock ticking at creation is still counting down today. God's calendar is not printed on paper. It burns in the heavens. Every day, every night, the universe repeats the message. Time is moving toward fulfillment. We are not drifting through chaos. We are orbiting prophecy. So when Jesus said, "There shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars," Luke 21:25, he was not speaking in metaphor. He was pointing to a living cosmic language that would announce the closing moments before his return. The blood moons that stained the night skies in our time, Passover and Tabernacles year after year, were not random astronomical events. They were warnings written in light, each one falling precisely on the feasts of the Lord, like a trumpet blast echoing through the heavens. Wake up, for the bridegroom is coming. And yet, most of the world sleeps. They scroll through glowing screens, unaware that the true glow is above them, whispering of eternity. But the heavens have never ceased their witness. Even when mankind forgot the code, the stars continued to trace it. They move with such precision that no human calendar can rival their order. To look up is to look backward and forward at once, into creation and into destiny. The ancients called the constellations Mazzaroth, a word found in Job 38:32. God himself asked, "Can you bring forth the Mazzaroth in its season?" In that one question, the Creator revealed that the heavens operate by appointed times. Each constellation appears in its season like a page, turning in an ancient book, and every season carries a message meant for those who still watch. From Virgo's rising at harvest time to Leo's dominion in midsummer, from the cry of the ram to the scales of judgment, the story of salvation is written there for those who have eyes to see. Adam once knew it. Seth, Enoch, Noah, they walked beneath those same lights, understanding the rhythm of creation and the heartbeat of God's calendar. Enoch, the 7th from Adam, saw deeper than most. He wrote, "The luminaries move in their appointed paths, and none transgress their order." Book of Enoch 72.1. He called them the watchers of the heavens, keepers of divine time who witness every generation of man. And then one day, Enoch was gone. He walked with God, and he was not, a foreshadowing of the mystery we call the Rapture, because the pattern was already written in the sky. The one who pleased God disappeared into the heavens, not by death, but by divine appointment. Even this was part of the celestial code. Every pattern repeats. Just as Enoch vanished before the flood, so too will a generation vanish before the fire, and the heavens will testify before it happens. Look again at the skies of our time. The world calls it coincidence when alignments occur, but prophecy calls it precision. In 2014 and 2015, 4 blood moons fell exactly on the feast of Passover and Tabernacles, a tetrad, rare and mathematically exact. Each one announced a shift in the prophetic timeline, marking seasons of Israel's restoration and the world's unraveling. Why Israel? Because Israel is the key. God said to Abraham, "I will make of you a great nation. I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. Genesis 12:2-3. And the stars he showed Abraham were not simply countless points of light. They were a covenant written across eternity. Look now toward heaven and count the stars, God said. So shall your seed be. Genesis 15:5. That promise was both physical and prophetic, a nation on earth and a lineage of faith in heaven. From that night onward, Israel's destiny was tied to the heavens. When Israel returned to its land in 1948, the heavens bore witness again. Rare eclipses, comets, and alignments surrounding that season of rebirth. The fig tree had begun to blossom, and Jesus had said, "When you see the fig tree put forth leaves, you know that summer is near." Matthew 24:32. He was speaking not of horticulture, but of prophecy. The rebirth of Israel was the clock striking midnight. Every event since has been measured by that clock. Wars, treaties, pandemics, and even the digital age, all unfolding under the same unblinking stars that watched Eden, Babel, and Bethlehem. And if those stars once announced the first coming, should they not also herald the second? The Revelation 12 sign was one of those heralds. Many dismissed it, yet its alignment was mathematically perfect, as if creation itself were replaying the prophecy. The woman, Virgo, clothed with the sun, the moon beneath her feet, and 12 stars upon her head. Before her, Jupiter, the king planet, lingered in her womb for 42 weeks, the length of a human gestation. Then it exited between her feet, just as John had written nearly 2 millennia ago. A birth sign in the heavens, a sign that a new age was ready to emerge. But the world scrolled past it, unaware that the very skies were speaking. The stars are God's timepieces, and we are living in the final minutes before midnight. Each generation has watched the clock tick closer. In the days of Noah, the heavens warned with gathering clouds. In the days of Abraham, they promised a seed. In the days of Christ, they declared a birth. Now, they foretell a return. Jesus said, "When these things begin to come to pass, look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draws near." Luke 21:28. He didn't say look around, he said look up. Because the answer is not hidden in governments or wars or economies. It is written above them. The stars have no bias, no politics, no corruption. They simply obey, and in their obedience they testify. When the rapture happens, it will not surprise the heavens. They've seen it before, in Enoch, in Elijah, in the transfiguration of Christ. Each of those moments was a preview, a prophetic rehearsal. And like the feasts of Israel, the rapture will occur not randomly, but on time. God's time, not ours. The Jewish people were commanded to observe the Feast of Trumpets by watching for the new moon, the one feast that no one could predict exactly. It required watching. You could not mark it on a man-made calendar. You had to look up. No one knew the day or the hour until the sliver of the new moon appeared. And only then would the trumpets sound. Does that sound familiar? Of that day and hour no man knows but my Father only. Matthew 24:36. Jesus was describing the same mystery. The rapture, like the Feast of Trumpets, will occur when the watchers lift their eyes and see the sign appear. So the heavens wait. The bridegroom tarries. The bride prepares in silence, while above her the stars rehearse the moment she will rise. And though the world mocks the idea, calling it myth or madness, the pattern of prophecy continues. Each blood moon, each solar eclipse, each shift in the heavens marks another step toward fulfillment. We are living at the edge of the divine calendar, a calendar written not in ink but in light. The world below speeds forward, measuring time in seconds, stock markets and screens, but heaven still measures by light. Every sunrise, every eclipse, every new moon ticks forward on a clock built before time began. We call them signs in the heavens, but they are more than signs. They are coordinates on God's calendar. When the digital age was born, when satellites began circling the Earth, we learned to watch the stars again, not to worship them, but to observe. And what we found was staggering. The precision of the cosmos is exact beyond comprehension. Our modern telescopes can see billions of galaxies, yet none are out of sync. Every orbit, every spin, every pulse of light follows a pattern so precise it could only come from one mind. What scientists call physics, the prophets called faithfulness. For by him all things were created, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities. All things were created through him and for him. Colossians 1:16. Even in the age of machines, the stars keep their testimony. When humanity built computers, we began to mimic the order of heaven without realizing it. Binary codes, cycles, algorithms, echoes of the divine rhythm written in creation. But something else began to stir. As mankind reached further into space, we began to play with the very patterns that heaven uses to speak. Artificial intelligence now maps the stars. Satellites read their light. Telescopes capture the echoes of ancient explosions. Yet for all our data, we still miss the message. Because the message is not about information, it's about invitation. The sky is not trying to be decoded by technology, it's inviting us to return to awe. Psalm 8 says, "When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have ordained, what is man that you are mindful of him?" Every time you look up, you see your smallness and your purpose. The same God who ordered the galaxies also ordered your life. The same one who set the Pleiades in place knows the exact moment when you will be called home. The celestial countdown is not a clock of fear. It is a calendar of mercy. Each sign is not to scare us, but to wake us. Each alignment is a whisper. Soon. When Jesus spoke of the signs of his coming, he didn't only speak of wars, earthquakes, and rumors. He said there would be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. Luke 21:25. That is not poetic language, it's literal. The same heavens that once heralded his birth will soon herald his return. In our generation, we have seen the convergence of prophecy in motion, the regathering of Israel, Jerusalem restored as its capital, the gospel reaching the ends of the earth through screens and satellites. And above it all, blood moons, eclipses, meteors, comets, and constellations aligning in ways unseen since ancient days. Each is a tick of the divine clock, counting down to a moment hidden from man's calendars, but visible in the language of the stars. The world mocks. Scientists call it coincidence. Skeptics call it myth. But faith calls it precision. Because prophecy doesn't fail, it unfolds. Do you feel it? That subtle trembling in the air, that sense that something vast is drawing near. The same spirit that hovered over the waters at creation is hovering again. Not to build a world, but to call one home. We are witnessing the synchronization of heaven and earth. Every time a trumpet blows over Israel, every time a moon darkens or a star blazes unusually bright, the unseen gears of God's plan turn. It's not superstition, it's synchronization. The ancient prophets saw this. Isaiah said, "Lift up your eyes on high and see. Who created these? He who brings out their host by number, calling them all by name." Isaiah 40:26. If he calls every star by name, he also calls every soul by name. And one day soon, that call will come as a sound, a shout, a trumpet, a moment. The rapture is not myth. It is the continuation of the story written in light. The heavens are not warning us to panic. They're reminding us to prepare. For just as surely as the stars marked his first coming, they will mark his next. But this time, he will not come as the Lamb. He will come as the Lion of the tribe of Judah. And the constellations already bear witness to that. Virgo, the Virgin, began the story. Leo, the Lion, ends it. The gospel begins with birth and ends with victory. The same pattern plays out in the sky, from east to west, from dawn to dusk. It is not coincidence, it is choreography. Even now, astronomers note strange anomalies, unprecedented activity on the sun, shifts in the magnetic fields of the Earth, unexplained alignments between planets. To the world, they are random. To those who know the code, they are reminders. Reminders that the clock is almost at midnight, that soon the voice that once said, "Come up here," Revelation 4:1, will speak again. And in that instant, that heartbeat of eternity, the dead in Christ shall rise first, and we who are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. 2 Thessalonians 4:17. The stars will watch as the bride vanishes, the world below unaware that the greatest moment in human history has just occurred. It will look like any other night, yet heaven will know, the angels will know, the very orbits of creation will shift in response, because the code written in the stars was never about astronomy, it was about relationship. It was the Father writing a love letter in the cosmos, a calendar not of doom, but of destiny. So as the final alignments appear and as the world grows darker, remember this: the same God who placed every star knows exactly where you are. The countdown of heaven is not meant to terrify, but to comfort, for it means the promise is near. There will come a night when the sky feels different. The stars will hang heavy, not dim, not fading, but waiting. The wind will move as if it remembers something ancient. The world below will go on, traffic, noise, laughter, scrolling, but above, creation will be still. It will be like the moment before a note is struck in a symphony, that breath before the sound that changes everything. For ages the heavens have rehearsed this instant. The constellations have cycled, the feasts have come and gone, the signs have spoken and faded, but all of it has been building to this: the silence before the shout, the stillness before the trumpet, the pause before eternity interrupts time. Paul wrote, "For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet of God." 1 Thessalonians 4:16. That moment is not symbolic, it is cosmic. The same stars that once sang at creation, Job 38:7, will sing again. Their frequencies, unheard by human ears, will resonate as heaven moves. The trumpet will not just echo through the air, it will vibrate through creation itself, because when the Creator calls his bride home, every atom obeys. Imagine it, the heavens opening like a curtain, the boundaries between spirit and matter dissolving. One heartbeat you're here, breathing air, bound by gravity. The next you are surrounded by light, weightless, timeless, home. The world will not understand what happened. Cameras will glitch, screens will freeze, and for a fraction of a second, time itself will hesitate, as if reality is remembering what it was meant to be. But those who are gone will not look back. They will look up and see him, the one whom the heavens have declared since the beginning, the one written in every constellation, the Alpha and the Omega of the sky, the Lamb who became the Lion. The stars will still shine, but their purpose will be fulfilled. The code they carried will have reached its end, not destruction but completion, like a letter finally delivered. And as the earth below descends into chaos, the heavens will rejoice, not in judgment, but in justice. For the story written in light will have reached its turning point. Yet, even then, the heavens will not go silent. Their next chapter will begin. Signs of tribulation, new alignments, a sky that bears witness to both wrath and mercy. But that belongs to another time, another episode, another revelation. For now we stand at the edge of it, the final breath before the trumpet, the night before forever, the calm before the collision of heaven and earth. Look up, listen, because the same stars that guided shepherds to Bethlehem are about to guide the bride to her king. The rapture code is not theory, it's testimony, written in the heavens, reflected in the feasts, fulfilled in time. And as we wait, the sky above us is not empty and it's counting down. Every star a witness, every heartbeat an echo, every breath a whisper. Soon,